is going on, YouTube world? It's Ghiman Mckinney. Yes, you can see right here. Go Green Bay Packers. It's Packers Nation all day, baby. Be sure to hit that like button right now. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. We are going to talk about and break down the release of the 2019 NFL schedule. I'm going to break down to you a couple schedules that really stuck out to me. I looked through pretty much almost all these schedules. There were about 6 schedules that really stood out to me. I'm going to give you 3 winners and 3 losers of the 2019 release of the schedules, for the NFL season, and who's, looking to probably have a great season, and who's potentially looking to have a downward season from last year. Huge winner. A lot of people are not going to want to hear this, but the New England Patriots are the biggest winner to me of the schedule release of the 2019 season. Listen, they're defending the Super Bowl champions. I was very against the Patriots last year. I picked them to lose to the Chargers in the playoffs. I picked them to lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs. And I picked the Rams to beat them in the playoffs. But, it's the Patriots. They prove everybody wrong, including myself. Listen, the Patriots, they're not going anywhere. Tom Brady, he can play a million years if he wants to. Bill Belichick is by far the best coach in the NFL right now. And I don't think they're slowing down anytime soon. They have 12 draft picks this year. Keep that in mind. 12 draft picks to add to the second easiest schedule statistically wise based on win-loss record of teams last year. Obviously that could change, but just the fact that they have an easy schedule like that is just crazy. Let's break down the Patriots schedule a little bit. They probably have one game on their schedule that I looked at where they probably will not be favored in. That is at Philadelphia. That's the only game I looked on their schedule where I can realistically say the Patriots will not be favored by Vegas. Listen, they have some tough opponents, but they get them all at home. They get the Steelers at home, they get the Browns at home, and they get the Cowboys at home. Those are probably 3 of their 4 toughest opponents, and they get all of them at home. And you know how tough it is to play at Foxborough. They went undefeated, I believe, at Foxborough last year. So, it's just tough to play there. And then their 3 other road games, which I think are very challenging, are at the Eagles, at the Jets, and at the Texans. I realistically think the Patriots can come out of that with, I would say, 2 wins. I think that even if they go 1-2 in that stretch, you still potentially, looking at their schedule, who else is going to challenge them? The Jets, the Dolphins. Yeah, the Jets are going to be improved. The Dolphins, they're terrible. The Bills, not a great team. They're in a weak division anyway. They are going to have a very, very good year, and they have 12 draft picks to add to an already pretty good team. So going from the biggest winner of the 2019 schedule release of the NFL season to probably one of the biggest losers, in my opinion, yes, that is the Chicago Bears, okay? And I'm going to bring to you why I think that. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Packers fan, even though, it brings joy to my ears that the Bears had a very tough schedule next year. But, okay, last year, the Bears, 13 of their 16 games last year were played against teams that did not make the playoffs. So pretty much 80% of their games last year, they played and beat teams that ultimately did not make the playoffs. See, they play the Saints, they play the Chargers, they play at the Eagles, they play at the Rams, they play the Cowboys, and they play the Chiefs. While also mixing in the Packers twice. My Packers are going to be improved. Don't count that out, okay? And also, let's not forget they play the Vikings twice each year. And pretty much the Vikings are a stacked roster, except due to the fact that Kirk Cousins can win big games. But the Vikings are no pushover, okay? So basically, the Chicago Bears are playing 6, 7, 8 potential playoff teams next year. Whereas last year, they played 3 teams that made the playoffs last year. So just the fact that their schedule is a huge jump, I do think that they will not be as good as last year. They do lose Vic Fangio as their defensive coordinator, and Matt Nagy. They got a year of film on the new head coach, and Mr. Trubisky, who pretty much improved last year in his first full season starting. So the Bears, not saying they're going to fall off a cliff, but they will definitely take a step back with a much harder schedule. Also, a loser is the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans last year had the easiest schedule in the NFL if you look at win-loss totals from teams. They had the easy schedule heading into that year, 2018. This year, man, oh man, Houston, I'm not saying you're going to miss the playoffs, but it's going to be a lot tougher to make the playoffs this year. You have the 4th hardest schedule this year, Houston Texans. Now, I love Deshaun Watson. I am a huge Deshaun Watson fan. I'm a believer in him. Let's just look at their schedule, though. They open up at the Saints. Tough game. It's hard to win at New Orleans. They play at the Chargers. They play the Falcons. They play at the Chiefs. They play at the Colts, at the Rams, at the Titans, and at the Buccaneers. Those will be 2 teams, I think. Well, not the Titans. The Titans, I think, will take a step back, even though they have a pretty good defense. They did beat the Texans last year. And the Buccaneers will be improved. I think Bruce Arians is going to get the best out of Jameis Winston, and they can add talent with the number 5 overall pick. They also have the Patriots at home. And just overall, that jump in schedule for the Texans, you look at it. Saints, playoff team probably. Chargers, playoff team. Falcons, possible playoff team. Chiefs, probably a playoff team. Colts, probably a playoff team. At the Ravens, potentially a playoff team. Buccaneers, decent team. I named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 teams who are vying for playoff spots that the Texans will be facing last year. And the Texans, they won a lot of close games last year. So, not saying the Texans will fall off a cliff, but they are definitely losers in the 2019 release of the NFL schedules. They're a loser. Now, this one's a little bit of a surprise. A big winner, in my opinion, is the New York Jets, the New York Football Jets. Yes, they are a huge winner in the 2019 schedule release. I think that they're going to have a pretty solid year. Not saying the Jets will make the playoffs. I haven't made my playoff predictions yet. But I think they'll be a team that's going to vie for a playoff spot. You know, they obviously added Le'Veon Bell this past year. You know, they got rid of a defensive coach and added an offensive coach in Adam Gase. They added Jay Crowder to fill the slot wide receiver position. They added a little bit of talent to the offensive line through free agency. So the Jets are having a pretty good offseason. Sam Darnold, he was playing really well at the end of the year last year. He was lighting it up. You know, I'm not saying Sam Darnold's going to be a Pro Bowler this year, but he's going to be very improved, okay? Now, getting back to the schedule. Yes, the Jets do have a little bit of a tough schedule getting off the bat. You know, they play the Patriots twice, you know, in the first 7 weeks. They play the Eagles and the Cowboys as well. Those are 4 tough games in total when you consider the fact they play the Patriots twice. But after that, their remaining 10 games are versus the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Giants, the Redskins. Let's look here. The Ravens, the Bengals, the Dolphins again, the Ravens, Steelers at home. That might be a loss. But they face the Bills too. So I basically named almost 10 teams that may not make the playoffs next year. And the Jets play all of them the final 10 games of the season. And I think that's really when things are going to start to click. Usually the first couple games, it takes a while to get used to a new head coach. Adam Gase is a new head coach. By that time, in week 10, week 11, you know, week 7 or whatever, when they make that stretch run of those 10 games versus those terrible, crappy teams, Sam Darnold will pretty much be pretty well in sync, I think, with that new offense. That team will probably be bought into Adam Gase's system. And, you know, they face the Steelers, yes, but they get them at home. Jets, listen, not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they can make the playoffs. The Jets fans, you have hope. You are a huge winner in the 2019 schedule release. The New York Jets, keep your eye out for them. All right, another winner is the Green Bay Packers. Yes, this is my team, Green Bay Packers. Okay, let's look at why we are winners. I think our schedule, we play some tough opponents, but I think it matches up pretty well based on how the schedule is spread out throughout the season. You know, we got the Bears. We had the Bears first game of the season. You know, that's a tough game. But, you know, I think the Bears will start to... I already told you I think the Bears are losers in the schedule release. So, can we beat the Bears? Yes, we can beat the Bears. Vikings, you know, at home. I think we can beat the Vikings at home. Broncos at home. I think we can beat the Broncos at home. Eagles, tough game, but we get them at home. That's great. At the Cowboys. Maybe a loss, but, you know, Dallas is... You know, Aaron Rodgers pretty much owned Dallas ever since he came to the league. I mean, let's be real. You got the Lions, and then you got the Raiders. So... I see potentially us getting off to a pretty hot start. I think we'll be about 5-2, 4-2, maybe 4-3 at the least. But I see us piling up some wins early in the season. And then late in the year, we get the Redskins, we get the Giants, we get the Lions, we get the Panthers, we get the 49ers. 49ers will be improved, but they're not blowing my socks off. I mean, we also get a late bye in the season. So we play some teams where we can get off to a hot start with our new head coach, get Aaron Rodgers some confidence, get this football team confident coming off a bad year. And then also this year, you know, like I said, at the end of the year, we play some cupcakes. So I do think we'll probably bounce back this year. We're a pretty solid winner, I would say, in the 2019 schedule release due to the fact how our schedule is spread out. And then lastly, sorry to cut it to you, Raiders fans, by the way, my brother Jordy, if you're watching, I'm sorry, brother, but your Raiders are losers in the 2019 schedule release, okay? The Raiders will travel to the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Colts, let's see here, the Vikings, the Packers, the Texans, the Jets, and they get the Bears at home. You're not beating those teams. You have the hardest strength of schedule out of any team this year, as far as 2019 schedules go. You have the hardest schedule. I do think, you guys will be a little bit improved. You add Antonio Brown, you add some other players, but not saying that this is the year that the Raiders turn around. The Raiders have a very tough schedule. I don't think they turn it around this year, but the future is still bright in Oakland. I'm going to give John Gruden some time, although trading Khalil Mack was a dumb move. That's pretty much a wrap for this video. If you have questions about other teams, schedules, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I love to discuss each team's schedule that you have questions about with you guys in the comment section. I obviously can't cover every team, so just hit me up in the comment section if you have a question about a team. Tell me who your favorite team is in the comment section as well. I love to hear it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. It's my favorite thing to do in the world to make these YouTube videos for y'all. Appreciate y'all. It's been your boy Ghiman Mckinney. I'm Ghost, and go Packers!